Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my previous subscribers, welcome back. So I just want to give a quick shout out to all of you guys who have been actively participating in engagement, commenting, liking, subscribing. It has been working. You guys have been sharing the content. I really appreciate all of you. Please continue to do so. If you are new, welcome to the family. I want to say thank you to all of you guys who have been very supportive from the very beginning and up until now, of course. And I want to say thank you for all of us for allowing our family to grow to 3,000 plus subscribers. I'm really appreciative of all of you guys. We hit a major milestone today, so I want to make sure I acknowledge that. As of this recording, it is December 15th, Sunday at 11:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when I'm recording this video. So probably when you see this video, we will be for a while at 3,000. Knock on wood. So I just want to make sure I make that known now. Thank you all for joining the family. We have a huge amount of you guys who just recently joined. Who just joined the family. I just want to give a quick introduction to myself. I'm Chris. I'm the psychic. That's what we do here. So a little bit about what we do on the channel. Every episode, it's kind of like, or it's video really, but it's considered episode because every episode is a building of a story, a bigger story nonetheless. I go into heavy detail in my readings, and I just kind of pull as much information, as much detail as I could out of the reading, specifically for you, for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only as well. But it allows you to be able to have a greater understanding of the world around us and to realize that there are more connections than there are disconnection. And that every episode is a continuation of a bigger and larger story. So even a fun fact as well, I have noticed on my YouTube videos, I don't know if this is like psychically done or subconsciously done. You will notice if you rewatch a lot of my videos, a lot of them have Easter eggs that I don't realize that are in there. I might say things that may have come true much later on, or for example, I was doing a vaccine video back in 2021, and I was talking about Roe versus Wade being overturned, but somehow that didn't cross my mind at the time in which we were recording. We were not allowed to know that that was going to happen because it was supposed to happen in a very specific manner. So there are Easter eggs along my videos, so even when you rewatch a lot of my videos, you will see new content show up always and continuously. So every episode has a brand new series and information, but it also has the ability to, when you revisit those videos, new information is being revealed and shown to you. So that is what's kind of cool about the YouTube channel. But enough about me, enough more about you. In today's video, I kept getting this very strong poll to read on Vice President Harris and President Joe Biden. But before we quickly do that, I did get a very strong indication that I need to do a psychic channeling on Vice President Harris. They just told me to just start. They didn't really give me any information, so I know nothing. A lot of everything that I do on the channel is all intuitive and very energetic. I know nothing about the cards. I just read the energies and I just interpret them directly to you. So that is how I read. But let's begin. I don't want to waste your time, so just comment in the description below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I do have a Blue Sky account, so if you want to get notified when I do upload and do post, definitely follow my Blue Sky account. I also have a Facebook group link as well if you are on Facebook and you want to join more people like you and connect and also be notified when I do upload as well. So there are some ways that you can be notified outside of YouTube so you're not reliant on social media. So how do you want to do this, Spirit? Okay, so what they're telling me is kind of like the same way, in the same fashion that they've always done this for a lot of psychic channeling. This is the first time in a very long time that I actually done this live, or not live, but like recorded during the channeling. The last time I did this was a psychic challenge singing bowl, and a lot of everything I said came true. So in this aspect, we're not going to do the singing bowl, we're going to do silent, and they're just going to start telling me words, kind of clairaudience. They're going to start telling to me in my right ear, and I'm just going to start telling you what I'm hearing. I don't understand what's going on. I'm probably not going to remember any of that because I'm in the channeling mode. But you guys will be able to receive the information that I am getting right now. So this video is just for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only. So we're starting now. All right, Spirit, are you ready? I'm ready. Okay, so they're telling me there was a ship that once sailed the sea, and it sounds like the song. The belly you'll see like that with like really rhythm and it's like stuck in your head. There's something on repeat here. So I'm seeing somebody crying and their tears coming out. I'm seeing eyes go like this. So there's eyes in rapid movement, but it's horizontal. So it's moving back and forth side to side. Okay. But it's weird. It almost feels like this person's almost like having an epileptic episode is what it feels like. I don't know if that's a symptom because I don't know anything about epilepsy or anything like that, but it looks like they're moving very rapidly, they're tearing, and it looks like to me like they're tearing, yes. Dad, stop listening. I told you, stop listening. Yeah, so I'm seeing like someone is eating like a lot of food, but typically they feel more full than normal. Okay, so this is what they do. It feels like high stress, high strung. This person is very yeah. So okay, so are we just describing who this individual is? What exactly are we doing here? Okay, so they tell me to give me the layout here, like the layout of what I'm seeing, but no words are coming quite yet. It just feels like the emotional aspect. This person is definitely very hot, and I don't mean that in a way of like appearance or attributes. It feels like their skin or they're sweating. I'm feeling very hot in the head. So they're like sweating, they're tapping down. This person's very nervous. Very nervous. It makes very little sense why the person would be very nervous if they're crying and overeating and all that stuff. But why would they be nervous? Why is this person nervous? Okay, so it's telling me here that this person does not know who they are or where she's meant to go. So she's lost. She doesn't really know who she is and where she's going. And I'm seeing a lot of green now, and it feels like again, I did my psychic channeling video with the Statue of Liberty, which I'll put in the link below and in the description and comment section. But I'm seeing the Statue of Liberty again, but it doesn't feel like it's the Statue of Liberty directly. It feels like it's more of a metaphor for who she is. And she feels like liberty but crying. I'm hearing she can't breathe. Okay. But why do you want me to do this now? What to do a tarot card reading and instead you interjected and told me to do a channeling instead? Because I'm hearing they're delaying something. Okay? What exactly is being delayed? I'm hearing the results. Okay? The result of what? Okay, so they're telling me the delay of the electoral process. Okay, and how would that really come about? Because that's clearly not something that could be possible because theoretically it is set date per the Constitution. Okay, so I'm hearing somebody open up the door. They're coming through like almost like a courthouse. They push open the two doors that look like a big chocolate bar. Right? They push open that door, and it kind of reminds me of like the energy and the vibe of like Legally Blonde. I never watched Legally Blonde, but that's what it looks like. The appearance and the energy and the aura around this. They're pushing out the door, and they're holding up almost like this big piece of paper. It looks like the Constitution, and it has all these different segments. So I'm seeing like one big word bolded, then a subcontext or like a subtopic. I've done all these little like words or paragraphs being written down, and it's like in repetitive motion. But it's like almost like a bill or something being brought to this. And it just feels like there's something that they found, there's a loophole that's being found. Okay, there's a loophole that was found. Okay. Okay, and what is she saying? So she holds this up. Somebody's holding something up. They're holding that piece of paper up. And I'm hearing, look what we found. Okay, but like, we know that you just told us that. So what did they find? They found the result, is what they told me. Okay, well, that's useless, because we know they found the result, you just told me that. So what is the result? I'm here in the state of Arizona. There's something in Arizona, the result of Arizona. I'm seeing a lot of, like, in my third eye right now, I'm seeing blue, and it's purple. It's like blue eyes, and then it's purple in the center. And it just keeps going like an ombre. Okay. Okay. Alright, so what does Arizona have to do with anything? Okay, so they're telling me a Tar Heel state. I don't know what that means. I don't know, what that is. But apparently, like how to use like the Buckeye state or like the Liberty state or stuff like that. They're saying the Tar Heel state. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what state that is. But they're saying Tar Heel state. So they're saying that state, whatever that state is, if that even is a state. But they're saying there's a border of that state where the lines just don't match. Okay. Are you referring to a little like border, or are you referring to something a little bit more along the lines of codes? They're telling me it's a line of codes. That's what it's called, the line of codes. I wonder if this has to do with the moral code or the moral compass to some degree. It has to do something with some sort of code here. A revelation of code, like maybe like a code of conduct that was probably, based on what I'm getting, the information I'm receiving, it feels like there was a misjudge of moral code or a code of guide. Yeah, they're not following the moral code here. There was something that was done that was against the moral code and what they agreed upon when they swore in the oath in some capacity. It's a rejection of the moral code. Okay, so they're holding up this letter. It's in the state of what's it called, Arizona, but then also in the Tar Heel state, whatever state that is, and then it's on the border of the Tar Heel state. I don't know if that's literal or methodological, but it's saying that it's according to the coding mechanism and the moral code or compass. Now that is my assumption, but it's saying that it has to do stuff with the code, but it has to do also with the moral compass. Okay, so they're holding up this letter, they're coming in, they show this letter in a courtroom almost like that. There's people, I'm seeing this room here, there's people who look behind, right? And they're looking, and this person's holding up the truth, and all these people are sitting in the chairs on the right side and the left side, almost like a wedding. And almost like a church, it's kind of like what it feels like, but it's like a courtroom mixed church. I don't know why. I don't know if that has to do with anything in particular. I don't know if that's learned or something. But I'm right in front of where she's holding this thing. There are some people who are shocked. But the people who are shocked, right ahead where the judges would be, which will be one judge, but there's like multiple people there, almost like advising the judge. And the judge and everybody there look like in shock. And what the energy that I'm feeling, that I'm getting towards those people in the back area, it feels like to me like they were in on this in some capacity. Like they were going to certify something that they knew wasn't true. And that they were just being exposed, and now they have no choice, but now it's a battle of moral, is what it feels like. It's a battle of moral compass here. Because when this person holds up this truth, whatever this is, this person who is the one who is the judge and all these people advising the judge look up on that piece of paper, and the judge is like looking down and they're going like this, but all these other people are like advising the president. One had the hand on one shoulder, the other one had the hand on the other shoulder, almost like angel and devil, so to speak, like devil's advocate. But this person looks up, all of them look up, but they're in a shock face. They're like in a state of shock, but almost like not in shock as if like they had just been revealed information, almost like they're in shock that they thought they would get away with it. It's what it feels like. I feel like people in positions of power who were authorizing this knew what was going on. There was indefinitely government interference, because it feels like, again, everything in this video is just for life purposes only and for entertainment purposes only, but it feels like there was government interference. I'm seeing the color yellow and red and green, like almost like a neon green. I'm seeing that. But then, it feels like there was interference. But it didn't look like interference from abroad. It looked like there was interference from within. The problem is, so many of us were looking abroad that we forgot to consider what was happening from within. That's what it feels like. It feels like it happened from within because they already had the mechanism to do it. They didn't need an outside force to do it anymore. Yeah, there was some sort of guidance and some sort of push in one direction. But all of it was done local. All of it was done domestically. Okay, so what is the outcome of this? Okay, then I'm showing another scene here, and another scene is people walking away like this, angry, and this person wearing a blue suit, like a very dark navy royal blue suit, wearing a, what color tie? Unknown. Okay, I'm seeing red, but I'm seeing also unknown. Like, we're not supposed to know who this individual is, but this person's either wearing a red tie or a white tie or like an unknown color tie. But this person's definitely wearing a white t-shirt. No, not a white t-shirt, but a white dress shirt. And they're having their hands on their back like this, and they're being pushed under, but they're looking at the camera very angry, like they were caught. Now this person looks very young, but also old, like they're merged into two different demographics. So this must be a wide span of people from aging from the younger group to an older group. So there's a interference from both aspects. Now what's interesting is that one person in particular has brown hair, short brown hair, and they are more like brunette in some capacity. And this person is the one looking at the camera angry. Now, this looks very similar to Luigi. Looks similar to Luigi, but it's not him. But there is a connection to the story over here. So there is a connection. So there's a connection here. That's interesting, the fact that there is a connection. That seemed to be the outlier. Okay. But I'm also seeing people being put away. I'm seeing somebody go into jail, like being arrested. But this is after the court case. I don't know if this is a law into his case, but it doesn't feel like it. But it feels like there's a reveal of something at the same time. Is there anything else? Okay, now I'm seeing on the screen here breaking news. There's a big black TV, big flash screen. There's breaking news on the bottom of the screen here. Okay. And there's a woman reporting something, and in the background there's blue, like a dark blue, like a no, I'll probably say it more like a lighter blue, but an aqua blue of the not the United States, but of the world. There's like a world map in aqua blue on top of like the lighter blue. So it's like a darker shade. I don't like the globe behind this person they're talking. So this must be global news. This is what I'm seeing. Breaking news on globally news. Okay, and what is that breaking news? I'm hearing there was foreign interference. Okay, but you just told me there wasn't. What's the answer? Okay, so you're telling me there's both. But how does that make any sense? Because you just told me it was domestically, but there was a minor push in one direction. But how could it be foreign interference if there was domestic interference? Okay, so they're telling me the way in which it was done. Well, they're telling me in order for the domestic interference to occur, it needs to have happened foreignly, via foreign interference, were aided and embedded and gave the proper tools and resources so that it can happen domestically. Therefore, it's an act of treason or act of war, theoretically, because it's saying here that yes, the country did not directly interfere, but it interfered by giving the proper mechanism, the training, and the requirements needed to pull it off. Therefore, that is considered and classified as treason It's an act of war. That is the description here. Again, everything in this video just for life purposes only and for entertainment purposes only. Okay. Was there anything else? Okay, thank you. Alright, so this is the end of the, oh no. At first I thought I lost the video and I was speaking out, but I didn't, so I clipped the two videos together. We are going to continue. The end of that recording was on Sunday, December 15th, 11:23 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is when I finished that psychic channeling. That is when I am now doing the tower portion of it. I don't understand why I got what I did. We will see why. I was told that I had to do the challenge first in the very beginning. But we are going to do the challenge first. Excuse me. We are going to do the tarot card reading now. Alright, so let's see. I am thinking, because I want to kind of see like what Biden is going to do, because if we have like this person in the courtroom, actually let's take a look now. Let's just see what the challenge is about, and then we are going to deviate to Biden and Vice President Harris. I do think it was about Vice President Harris, but I really don't know 100%. Could be talking about Luigi court case, who knows? We'll know what that is when the date comes, or, you know, whatever. Alright, so Spirit Angels tell me, because it said something with interference, and it said there's a connection between the two, between Luigi and the election. So there's something there. And the color green. Talk about the Navy. I'm getting very strong pull to the Navy suit. Whoever that Navy person suit is very significant. How is in that Navy suit? Alright, so Spirit Angels tell me about that channeling. Why did I have to do it? What was important? What was the important takeaway on why we had to do that challenge, and why you told me I had to do it before I did the tarot card reading of this video? What was so important you wanted me to explain to my viewers? What was so important? What was so important? Okay, so there is a card that came out. Let's see what it is. We have government. The Hierophant. Something with the government here. Okay. Regarding the government, what is it exactly that was so important that it needed to be done writing this video? We have here the sun. There's a sun here. The reveal of the Ten of Pentacles reversed, which is the line of succession. The government reveals something. So the reveal. The government is the center of the reading here, which is the Hierophant. And then we have the Sun card, which is the reveal, followed by the line of the succession for me, but it also means family lineage, family values, you know, a continuation of something. But because it's reversed, it's the end of a continuation. It's the end of a dynasty. It's the end of something. There's an end coming. But whatever it is, there's an end of the story, in essence of how things were done, how things were supposed to be. I think if this is referring to Luigi, it's the end of how things operated in the United States regarding people in high positions of power, and it's back to the people again. That is what it could be meaning when it refers to Luigi. But if it refers to on a greater scale, and it could be both simultaneously, the government reveals something about the line of succession, or the line of succession, or the transitional period. The line of succession would be the next person in position to power, which the next person in position to power would be Trump, because Trump would be the next president of the United States, because he won the 2024 election. And what that is telling me, that is reverse, which means there's a block to that transition, because the government found something and it blocked the transition here. What else do we need to know regarding my psychic channeling? What do we need to know? We have here that the challenge is the presidency heading towards Inauguration Day. This is my Chariot card. But this also has been my heading straight towards the presidency. That is the challenge today. So the government reveals something about the transition, or the lack of transition, being blocked by the presidency. or being challenged by the presidency. That could mean Biden presidency. Could mean that it could be a challenge for the Trump presidency or the way for a Trump presidency, if that makes any sense. Because we have here, the next card is going back to the past. This is in the past context, right? This is here, which means that there is something going on regarding the reveal of the past. Yeah, there's a reveal of the past. We have the government here, the revelation about the transition being reversed. Regarding the pathway forward towards the presidency, there's a block of a transition regarding to how things were done in the past. So it almost feels like it might be alluring to the fact that there might not be a peaceful transfer of power. Because we do have the Page of Pentacles not allowing to pass it on. This is the Page of Pentacles, a young guy looking at his brand new fortune. It's reversed. With an upright Queen of Cups. Because she has it, not him. She has it. Which is the Queen of Cups. What is the bottom of the card here? They are looking at the evidence now. The evidence is being looked at. It's being studied. I don't think it's going to cause division right away. I don't think it is. Like I said, there wasn't a lot of foreign interference directly, but it could be classified as such because it was aided in the ability for it to be successfully domesticated here. And that is a very interesting word of choice that I use. We do have walking away from what was not rightfully yours, which is the Five of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands reversed. Walking away from what's not yours. I think the reason why they wanted me to do this challenge is because they're trying to reveal that this individual, this person the government is about to reveal something, a loophole in the essence, and there is a blockage to the transition in some capacity. And what is the final card here? We have here, it has the block to holding on. There's something here that revolves around a block, a transition, a removal. Because this person has a plan. And the government, because what happens when the government is angry at you? It's going to remove you, right? Well, why is this so important? Because for recently, we are very well known. We're in the era of corporations and even other people, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only, are basically getting rid of the whistleblowers, right? Now, what does this mean? Well, when you make an enemy of the United States, when you make an enemy of the government that runs everything in the United States, the government will cease to protect its own interests before it protects you. So what does that mean? It means that it puts its own interests higher than your interests. And therefore, if you're a liability to the institution in which you swear that you're going to tear it down, well, it's going to do whatever it can to destroy you before you can destroy it. Right? We have here the Knight of Wands. He's going to have a choice. Okay, these are the two choices that he's going to have. Doesn't look like he had the choice, actually. Well, yeah, he doesn't have a choice. He does not have a choice. Okay, I'm hearing he has 3 choices, 2 choices. That's what they're telling me. They're telling me he has 3 choices, 2 choices. They're saying that in a very, very wordy way. And the reason why they're saying is that there are 2 likely choices. The third option is, well, if you go that route, it's not going to go well for you. Why? Well, in the Four of Pentacles here, it says that you can hold on to power, you can remain president, will allow it to happen. But we will give you the hardest time in your life and you will regret doing that. Or you could choose to escape. The other option is he chooses to escape, right? Or he chooses just to give up and walk away. Or he chooses to allow her to become president, but it also means that he escaped to Russia as well. There's a flee here. So the option is, he has 2 options actually, theoretically, yeah. I think the 2 options would be the Four of Pentacles, which is he can hold on to power, but he's going to probably have the most difficult time of his life, or he can choose to give that up and become the Knight of Wands and escape to Russia and allow her to become president. Either way, she's president. Because we have here, he has to give up his pentacle, and it's going to be towards her. Because it's the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles is a stop. The horse normally is not moving in the right direction. It's not moving forward. It's just stopped. And he's holding a pentacle, which means he loses a pentacle. She gained the pentacle. Therefore, it's in her direction. And the world's card falls here, while the White House is on the opposite direction. The White House here, he could choose to head towards the White House, but he's going to have a very difficult time, and he could be unalive, so to speak. Or he could choose to reroute. It almost feels like he has a free choice of will here. So two options. We have the Knight of Pentacles, and he can give that up, give it to her, and let her handle the foreign affairs. In exchange, he may not get convicted. That is the agreement here. They'll look at everything else. They'll look at everything else that they can convict him on. And that's the loophole here. The loophole is the government's going to say, well, listen, we know what she did. We know what she did. We know what she's capable of. You have two options here. You can flee the country. You can stay as president. Or you're going to give it up. Right? But the two are the likeliest outcome. Now, what is this saying here? It's saying that, well, if you choose to just walk away, however you choose to walk it away, if you choose to just walk it back and just don't do anything, we will overlook the current criminal cases that you currently have pending against you, regardless of what it is. But the loophole is that they are going to find something else to pin them on, because that's not part of the agreement. Right? Everybody knows when you make an agreement with the government always tells you the half truth. Right? It's not being honest with you. It's not going to tell you the full truth. And it never will. The false truth is for Trump is that they are going to find something else to pin him on. They will find some other investigation, other conviction to convict him on. Yeah, he's going to be right. He's going to get what he wanted. He's going to make sure he does not get convicted on the one that he knows that he might get convicted on. But that doesn't negate the fact what may come in the future. And the future card is, again, he had no choice. It's going to happen regardless. He can choose to take the easy way out or the hard way out. That is up to him. Either way, he doesn't really have a choice. That's why I said he only had two choices. He can choose what one he wants. He could choose this and allow this to happen, or he can allow this to happen. His choice. Either way, the outcome is still going to be the same. But he can refuse and live longer if he just chooses this option than if he chose this option. Depends on how stubborn the person is and how stubborn they are. Again, it's not the divine time. Not the divine time. Things have changed. Things have changed. Things have changed. So, that is the challenge. That is what we received. The information we got. New Orleans was really interesting too because it kind of had like a mixed information of both what we expected from, from the challenge. We saw a lot of election things in there, but also talked about something that were linking to COs and unaliving of them, and also referring to Luigi. Right? It's talking about those. There's a connection there. The connection could be simple as, what to call it? We the people get our power back. That could be what that means. It could be just mythological. It could be physical. It could be metaphorical. We don't know exactly what Spirit is directly trying to tell us or what kind of message they are trying to convey. But we can rest assured and understand that, well, there's more than what the government is letting on, and that there will be a reveal eventually. And that reveal is, okay, well, yeah, we know that there might not be direct foreign interference, but there was proof that they're going to find that they're going to pin it on foreign interference because it's an act of war. That is what they said. But there's the catch here, and the catch is that, well, theoretically, under the law, it's considered domestic, but because there was foreign interference that happened prior to the election, just because, you did it domestically, doesn't mean that, their capabilities were done domestically. It could have been, you could have got training from foreign interference, from foreign players who knew that was illegal. Things like that is still considered and classified under the idea that they are projecting in this channeling that it has to fall under the act of war. And it's considered foreign regardless if it was done domestically or not. There was aiding in it. And even being an accomplice in this aspect here is still, in a way, enabling the behavior. Therefore, it's considered treason. So, that's what we got in that regard. So now we are going to talk about President Biden's and Vice President Harris's path forward, and what will Biden do with the information that we just talked about. Now, if you have not watched my NATO video, or what's it called, this JD Vance video, I highly recommend you do so. It's really good information. This video is a continuation of that video, and I think that you guys are going to like it and love it. I actually really enjoyed it. I found it to be highly informative. So just definitely go check that out if you have not done so already. If you have not done already, make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to engage with this content and share with other people so that more people can get the message out. So, let's talk about President Biden's path. What is President Biden's path now? Well, all the information that we just received and the two possible outcomes for President Trump was I did not expect him to actually have any sort of direct center stage attention in this video, but apparently he did because, that's Trump. And here it is. He comes again. I mean, seriously. Yeah, so we have here, the Ace of Cups, he wins, but then he has to lose the Five of Pentacles, and then he has to walk away, or he can achieve. But it feels like it's telling me here that he might not actually walk away. He feels like he's going to be stubborn. He actually might just stick it in. He might just pull it through. He might just say, no, I'm not taking the offer. So let's see if that shows up in Biden's reading. So what will President Biden do with the information that he received, and what is his current path forward now with the revelation and the second challenge and everything we talked about up until this very moment right now, including all the previous videos that we talked about. We have here this card here. That's the center of the reading. What is President Biden trying to do in terms of his path? What's his new path now? Any cards that came out. They told me to take the last two cards. They told me these are his path. Okay, let's see what it is. Okay, so this is what it is. This is Biden's path, and it's showing me two outcomes very similar to the way Trump had it. Right, we have the first card, which is being resembled here by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 of Swords. And the 8 of Swords upright is telling me here that there is some indecisive decision making. He's still very much deciding, which may be why it's being delayed. Why nothing has happened so far. Now, under this card on the left side here, we have the Ace of Pentacles. He has the option to just do the right thing. Just close your eyes and just do it. That's really what the push is on this card. Now, on the right side here, though, he had more of a deeper, detailed decision making. He could decide to, go through all the probabilities and possibilities that could occur, or escalate certain situations, or de-escalate them, and try to figure out and narrow down, okay, what would be the best outcome? Because not only did he have to consider the ramification of the current United States, he also had to consider the ramification around the globe, but also the future of the United States. Because what happens now sets a precedent for what may happen in the future, and so. There's a very high probability at this very point in time that President Biden might be considering a plausibility and a possibility that if he doesn't do anything, then that might not give, let's say, for example, the Democrats do it and, something happens to the election, Vice President Harris goes in, but who's to say the next time, well, the Republicans do it and they're in power and they remove a rightful election and put somebody else who they want in. So it creates a dynamical loophole that allows for, okay, well, theoretically, we might have saved it temporarily, but who's to say that, well, they can't install somebody in again, because that's just how it happens, right? So theoretically, it creates a loophole, a dynamic that Biden can currently consider and trying to figure out, okay, what will be the best outcome that doesn't open a loophole to where somebody can just be appointed as president instead of people electing who they want to be their next president. We have here that I almost feel like I have to perform. That is why you have to make a decision. This, he can just close his eyes and do the right thing, but he has to do it quickly. Or he can just take his time, be very methodical about it, and be very keen on decision making, consider all the options currently and concurrently in the future. We do have here on this card, though, we do have the Ten of Swords reversed, what's telling me, yeah, this is not going to be political death temporarily if he considers the option. But if he goes with this option, we do have here the King of Pentacles reversed. So either way, it's going to be a decision where he's going to have to move very quickly on it, but he has to be very detail oriented. He needs to be able to make a decision. And this we know with Joe Biden because Biden card shows up here, but this is the Democrats card here. What card shows up on the right side? We have the Sun card, which is the Trump card, this is the Trump side. And both of them are reversed. These are two cards that represent Donald Trump. It's the Sun card and the page, the King of Pentacles. However, the High Priestess card represents Joe Biden because it has JB and it's blue. Now we do have here in the center here, we have the election, which is the Two of Cups, which is an agreement between Americans and whoever they choose as the next leader. So what does this mean? It means that there has to be a decision that has to be made, but regardless of the outcome, if he closes his eyes and just allows whatever he feels to do the right thing, there will be major pushback. But if he does say he was very detailed and very methodical about it, well then it could be the end of the government. So it almost feels like in a way he needs to be able to find out neutral ground where there's going to be the least pushback or resistance, but at the same time he needs to be able to find something that won't kill the government. In a way, it almost feels like in a way he needs to be a little bit more assertive. He needs to be able to be a little bit more understanding about where he is and where he wants to go and the position in which he wants to take. Now we do have here this next card here, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 of Swords, which is telling me that here that there is going to be a lot of sleepless nights if he just ends up going with this outcome. What seems to be more so that he's not heading in this direction, it seems to be that he's heading more of a methodological approach. I mean, I feel like that's how Biden is. But he needs to be very tardy with his time, and he's not so tardy. He's not very known for doing things on time. Particularly because it's telling me here that he is an overthinker. He's overly, well, don't take it the wrong way, but it feels like he's very submissive. Because of that, he's not very assertive in his energy, and when he comes off as assertive, he comes off as very aggressive, very dictatorial-like, even though he's not. But that is how he's projected in the media, and so his image is everything here. And that is why it's saying that he has to make a decision, he has to make it soon, but he can't be too slow about it either, because the thing is, he can make it very quickly, but it has all these risks that come with it. He can make it very slow, but the risk is, well, he's too late, and he gets put out of power, and there's nothing that he can do, right? So it must feel like he needs to find a happy balance, and the pathway forward for Biden just really needs to be into the connection for the divine. He needs to be connected to the divine, and the divine will help him get along the line. And that's the whole thing, is that he needs to seek spiritual guidance, spiritual help. I don't know if that means that he needs to speak psychics, he needs to speak astrologers. I don't know exactly what that is intelligent here. It could be he just needs to speak to the spiritual world, maybe according to his belief system. But whatever it is that he needs to do, he needs to be advised by the spiritual world. And it could even mean extraterrestrials, even, God forsaken. I don't really know how that will come about, but if it was, it could be extraterrestrials. Because that is, again, help from the foreign entities, foreign ideas, foreign energies, foreign experiences. It feels like in some capacity there needs to be some sort of help or guidance along the way. We do have the World's card reversed. Here the World will be turned upside down for everybody, including his. Or if he doesn't go this route, well, the investigation's over. Right? But if he goes in the center here, well, then he can expose the thievery. That's up to him. It really is. He can either expose it or he cannot expose the judgment, right? The judgment card reversed is the election here. But if he does go the route of the spiritual connection here, then he will receive what he needs, but he needs to be able to get the strength that he needs to be able to pull this off. And in the end, that might be the best outcome here, because the best outcome can prevent the most civil unrest. So it feels like to me that it's telling me that Biden's best path forward, because it gives us three options, is seeking spiritual guidance and spiritual understanding. It feels like to me that he needs to do what Ronald Reagan did. Ronald Reagan was able to do and be as successful as he is because he sought out spiritual guidance, spiritual help, and spiritual things. So, it could be that as well. It could be his belief in religion as well. It could be whatever and however Biden chooses to do it. He needs to be using somebody from a foreign enterprise in some capacity. Someone that is not familiar with him, or someone that he has a sense of comfort and peace and understanding, knowing that he can trust them to help him along the way. So that is very interesting to see, because that can mean even better yet, some of you guys might even be asking or thinking about, well, what if this has to do with a foreign government or a foreign country? What if it has to do with NATO? It could be. It could very well be. If you watch my NATO video, well then that could be what that could be indicating. That could be why that might be the likeliest path. It might be because again it's spiritual, right? Europe in one point in time was a very spiritual place, right? But I'm also getting a very strong pull to India. So India could also be a major player here. Why is India a major player? Because it's telling me here that Vice President Harris is Indian. And for some reason, that attracts Indians. Despite the fact that they did not vote here in the United States for her, there is this very spiritual presence in India that is for her. And if he tapped into that, he might be able to gain the spiritual guidance that he needs to be able to propel everything forward. That is Biden's best path. Now, what is Vice President Harris's best path? Or where is she headed now with everything that we talked about in all the videos up until the very moment, including the channeling that we received earlier in today's video? What is it that Vice President Harris will do with her path forward? What will President Harris do with her path? Okay. What will Vice President Harris do with her path going forward? Ugh. They don't look like good cards either. We have here, what is the center of the reading? We have decisions. Seven of Cups here. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. The woman who could have been president but may not choose to be president. Remember how in Romania, the lady, whoever the lady is, she was running for prime minister, president. I don't know what they do in Romania, but whoever there is, she said when they did a recount, or not a recount, but a redo, she said that it's illegal and that it shouldn't be happening and blah, blah, blah. And if she is rejecting, if she doesn't say anything, she could very well become the next leader of that country. But it's saying here that Vice President Harris might do the same thing. It may suffer the same fate. She needs to be very careful with what she's saying. I'm channeling that too. I'm seeing that she needs to be very careful with what she says. This is a time that is very volatile for Vice President Harris. I wonder if an astrology chart at this point in time is not very good whenever this is occurring. Because we have this Seven of Cups here, decision choices, a lot of choices here. We have here in the past, she feels like she's lost. Like she doesn't know where to go. Like she feels very restricted. Very tired. Very drained. Because you can kind of see it here, right? You have this landscape that used to be filled with water. And now she's just standing above land masses with very little water left. Like she's been drained of all her energy, of all her worth. She put all of it into it. The problem is, with Vice President Harris, and this is what I'm getting, is that like she put all of it in and expected it to pay off, but she should have known the man that she was up against, that it was not going to be easy. That's what it's saying here, because we have here underneath the Seven of Cups, we have the Knight of Wands reverse, and the Knight of Wands reverse is telling me that she might What does that mean? It'll tell me you might not know at this time. Well, that's useless. But okay, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of wands here. There's a fight. So it feels like, okay, so it feels like there's two options here. She could choose to either just give up and feel very restricted in the state that we talked about earlier in today's video, in part 1 of the video with the second channeling, or she could just very well be fighting. She could fight for it. Like, those are the options here. We have here, she could just give up her manifestation. She can give up what was rightfully hers. Or she could allow the tower moment to happen. But she needs to be able to create the tower moment. Or she needs to be able to create it. The tower moment won't happen like that. She has to want the tower moment. She has to work towards that tower moment. And if she does decide to do that, she's going to run towards that. She's going to run against the magician. Now, again, I said earlier in the video, I'm going to link the Statue of Liberty in my the bottom of the description and in the comment section below. I'm also going to link the Wizard of Oz psychic channel as well. But it says here that she goes up against the wizard. The wizard is the guy who's in office, Trump. If she continues to fight, I think if Trump does go in, she is going to continue to fight. She's going to fight him. It feels like I keep getting a pull toward the story of David in Israel, going up against a very big, bad, like, ogre. I don't even know. I'm not Judaist or Israeli, so I do apologize if I do offend you guys. Well, actually, the proper word is Jewish. I'm not Jewish, so I apologize for all the words I just used. But I feel like it's kind of like that situation. Like, she goes up against this big guy, and she's that little girl, but she takes him on. She's like a chihuahua up against a Rottweiler. It's probably the best word to put in. Probably the best mythology I could put it. But we have here the Knight of Swords. She's going to go up against the Wizard. But we have here the Tower card and the Temperance card to balance the evenness. You know, it's ironic too, because I just started thinking about, okay, well, I talked about this guy who pulls her into the White House. But I talked about, you know, if you watched my Wizard of Oz second channel, it kept talking about how this guy pulled the woman on the Yellow Road into the Emerald City Capitol. Pulled her in. But who resides in the Capitol? The Wizard. What if that is Trump? What if the Vice President has become president? Trump needs to be in position of power so that she can take him out. We have the transformation. It feels like in the end, she had the choice here. And this is what it feels like. House can go and make a decision, but because it has to be divine, because it is divinely chosen, it feels like she does not really have a choice, but she can have the illusion of choice, if that makes any sense. So it feels like to me that people in a position of power and people in her daily life will make certain decisions for her. And that is because she is divine. I said this before. She is divine. She's supposed to happen. She will happen. I've said this many times before. But what I'm seeing here, that there is an illusion of choice here for Vice President Harris. There is an illusion of choice. But what does this mean? It means that in essence, if she decides to go with this outcome here, more that depressed state, she will end up back at the death card of transformation. Right? But if she goes this route and decides to fight it, she will end up here again at the death card. Either way, the outcome is still the same. The final outcome is still the same. It's how she gets there is what she's allowed to choose. So in the essence, is this a free choice of will? No, because theoretically, the outcome is still going to remain the same. But it's how she decides to get there, well, that's up to her. But in the end, the outcome is still the same. Now, what is that outcome? Now, what is that outcome card here? What is the final outcome card for both options? We have here the Ace of Swords, taking down the person in position of power, the presidency. Either way, she's gonna do it. She's going, that is her divine purpose. She does not really have a choice in this matter. She was created. She agreed on a sole contract basis that this is what she was going to do. She's going to do that, just that, because she had no choice in that. She cannot back out of a contract that she agreed into when she came and was born into this world. You have a contract, you're going to live by it. Right? We have here Biden. So she could choose to go towards Biden to well by Biden, right? But regardless, she will become president. We don't know when, because remember, time and the tarot cards don't know time in essence, right? It cannot tell time because time is linear, but we read everything in linear. That's also what's going to be changing soon, is how we interpret time. What we do have here, we do have the 10 of Swords reversed. So she could choose the outcome. Either way, the outcome is going to end up in her favor. She's going to receive the justice that she wants. She's going to get the justice that she deserves. The question is what she's going to do with that. Because at the end, we do have the Emperor card, right? Trump at the bottom of the deck. And here she's right now in a period of darkness. But there will be something that will come about. She has to see the opportunity, and she sees the opportunity with the Four of Cups here in the future, because the opportunity is going to present itself in the future. I mean, it hasn't happened yet. But when the opportunity does, a revelation or a reveal is coming, the Moon card, right? And with this revelation, she will have a renewed sense of spirit. So I think what is going through, what the cards are saying here, that yeah, Vice President Harris had two options. She can go down the route of being indwelling in a very depressed state and coming towards that death card, which is the same outcome in the end, or she can go towards the fighting phase and end up in the same outcome of the death card. And it could be that free choice of illusion of free choice of will, but at the same token, it's also saying in the end, it's there's divine interference here. That could be why. It could be why. What to call it? We kept getting from President Biden's brain. It kept talking about how he needs to seek spiritual guidance, whether that is foreign, whatever it is. He needs to speak something that's outside the normality in what she normally seeks advice from, right? That is exactly why this is tied into Vice President Harris, because Vice President Harris is divinely timed to the spiritual realm. So in order for Biden to be successful in what it is that he needs to do, he needs to seek spiritual guidance, because that is directly involved with Vice President Harris. So in some capacity here, there's some sort of involvement with the spiritual world. And if he's able to do that, he's able to get the information that he needs about the king, and that there won't be much of a fight, but if so, the Republicans might actually back this. The reason why the Republicans might back this is because they might actually see this as an opportunity to oust the person they don't want in. And because of that, she can go in. And because of that, she might be able to be bipartisan. I think she might be able to be bipartisan here, because the bipartisan card shows up for Harris a lot. So the reason why it shows up as bipartisan, it shows up as bipartisan because people in positions of power, specifically on the opposite party side in terms of ideology for Vice President Harris, are willing to cross-party ideal to be able to change the government, to change certain things that were exposed by Trump, and to try to fix some of those issues. Now, I don't really know what Vice President Harris is exactly planning to do, but there will be some sort of anointment that will take place within the United States. I'm also seeing the Pope coming to the country as well. I don't know why that shows up as under Vice President Harris, but there is a Pope visit. And it's a young male Pope. I don't know if there's a Pope election or he's going to resign or something. Why is that even coming through? Because I'm hearing it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's saying like it's very certain it's going to happen. I wonder if they're going to have a new Pope soon in the Vatican, and that he's going to make a visit in the United States, and that's going to be a very significant key indicator for the U.S. We have the Ten of Swords reverse with the Lovers card. That might be the spiritual guidance that Biden might be seeking. Because isn't Biden Catholic? And I think the Vatican, if I'm correct, is Catholic. Yeah. That actually might be the spiritual guidance that, Biden might be seeking. But again, it is still very much spiritual, theoretically. Right? And again, it has to do with the election. I think Biden is going to make a visit to the Pope. I think Biden's going to make a visit to the Pope. I wonder, actually, if we take a look now, if Biden's going to be visiting the Pope. Because I really want to know if that's already something that's, been planned, like a planned visit. I don't know. This video now it is now 12:04 p.m. 12:04 a.m. on December 16th. That is now currently when I'm looking at my phone. So it is now midnight. It's Biden visiting the Pope. Okay, let's see. Search tool, I would probably say past 24 hours. Let's see if anything. Here. Let's see anything. Visiting the Vatican. You know what? It could be Notre Dame, too. It could be that. Vatican canceled live TV broadcast of Biden greeting Pope. That's in 2021. I don't see anything regarding Biden and the Pope. This could also be like, it could be like, I'm also seeing virtual too. It could be like a Zoom call. I don't know if that's what he does. I don't know if the Vatican is very technologically advanced like that, but I assume it is. But it could be that as well. Because we do have here the Ace of Wands. And we have here the Queen of Wands here, giving the power over to the Queen. I very much think that, Biden is going to seek spiritual guidance, and it could come from the Vatican. It could very well come from the Vatican. It's very interesting to see why that plays into play here. Okay, so now let's talk about the information that President Biden received and whether he's going to act on that information. So, let's take a look, and then we'll finish the reading. Spiritual angels tell me with the information that President Biden now received, and everything we talked about in this video, and all the other videos as well, what is President Biden going to do with the information, including the information he's going to receive from NATO? What is the current energy with President Biden? What is President Biden going to do with the information? Okay, so he has a lot of information. There's something here, and people are going to be like, "Well, this is foreign interference." Right? That's what people are going to be saying as well. They're like, "Oh, well, you're taking information from a foreign entity, and how do they know this?" That's what they're saying too. So there's going to be a side note here. Spirit Angels will tell me about President Biden. What is President Biden going to do with the information that he received, or is going to receive? What is President Biden going to do regarding that information? Okay. Yeah, it's not very comfortable sitting on the floor doing this, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so Spirit Angels tell me about President Biden and what he plans to do spiritually. And not plan to do spiritually, but what President Biden plans to do with the information that he received from NATO and everybody else. That's it. I'm just going like this. Okay. What is President Biden gonna do with the information? Okay, so we have some challenges here. Oh, look at that. We have a queen. We have a king here. Right, so it's interesting. So we have the Ace of Cups upright. We have the King of Pentacles. Right, with the King of Pentacles. What's very interesting as well with the King of Pentacles is 45. He has his pentacle facing in the direction of the Queen. What's his Vice President Harris? Vice President Harris has her pentacle facing towards 45. What is Vice President Harris, the Queen of Pentacles? What's really interesting about this is that these are the two Pentacle cards, right? And they're actively opposing one another because 45 is saying no, I won. Vice President Harris says no, I won. And there's a fight here. There's a battle that goes on, and it feels like there are two victors. And we don't know exactly how that's going to play out because the challenge here is the Chariot, which is heading towards the presidency, heading towards the White House. Right? We're talking about the information that President Biden received, which is represented in the Ace of Cups. Well, then what is happening with the story? Well, what is Biden going to do with the information? Well, let's take a look. This is the first time I've ever done this layout. Okay. This is Vice President Harris. What is President Biden going to do with this information? Okay, how is the card? I think the card was like, no, it was like this. I think. I'll read it both ways. Okay. This card came out, so we'll just put that card here. Okay. They tell me to take the bottom card. They tell me to take the last top card. That makes no sense. So is it the second last? They told me, yep, that's the one. That's a very weird way of wording it, to be honest. Okay. Alright, let's see. What's the bottom deck here? We have the King of Cups. This is President Biden. He's going to enter turmoil at some point in the presidency, or towards the end of the presidency when this starts to happen. He's going to be in a very tumultuous time in the United States. This is 45. This is Vice President Harris. So you know, Vice President Harris, 45, the election, or the information that's received. Right? I think this might be the outcome, but I don't know yet what that card is. Okay, so we have 45 here, and the 45 card is being represented by the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups here is very interesting because the Ten of Cups here is the election card, but it is sideways, and it's directly challenging toward the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is the 45 card. So he's saying that he won, but his pentacle is facing towards Vice President Harris, and Vice President Harris is facing towards Vice 45, right? But the Ten of Cups is moving away in the opposite direction of the former president, right? Because the Cups are not close to him; they are far away from him. Now we do have Election Day, and Election Day is telling us here that okay, so yeah, the result of the election favored him on election night, which is why the 3 of Wands card shows up here, because the 3 of Wands card is the card that represents my election night video. Election night, right? Now we do have here upright here, which is the opposition card, or yeah, the opposition in the opposite direction, heading in the same direction as the election, because they're both heading in the same direction, while 45 and election day are in the same direction. So for example, 45 and the 3 of Wands are facing this way, which is facing towards the left, but the Ten of Cups here and the Devil card are facing towards the right. And what does that mean? It means that the election, in some capacity, when it comes to the Devil card, was in some capacity manipulated. Again, this election is, well, excuse me. This video is just for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only as well. So it's saying here that there was some sort of manipulation, some sort of hold back of the information. Because why is that interesting? Because we have here the Lovers card, which is the male and female, but they're being held captive by the chains. Something is being chained, right? And the fact that it's coming in, there's some sort of holding back, according to the election. There's something holding back. Now, for Vice President Harris, she is facing the same direction as 45, but her pentacle is above 45, but they're very close, very tight, which is why she is actually above in the popular vote, according to what the cards are saying. Again, in this video, just for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only as well. We have here is followed by the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is also facing the same direction as the Queen of Pentacles here, which has to do with the ballot, the voting, right? But what is going on with this voting ballot? Well, normally the card that we talked about before and talked about in the past, that this card means that people are voting, but the votes here are being thrown out, hence the cup being tilted downward. Right, which is why this is also aiding the election. The aiding of the election favored 45, while the ballots were favoring Harris, but they were being tossed out or not being allowed to be counted or whatever it is. Now we do have here in the opposite direction, which is facing towards the right, we have Strength card. And the Strength card means that she will gain some sort of strength, whether that is a movement towards something or a resistance of something. But regardless of what it is, there is some sort of strength, and her strength is on election night, after election night. Because election night favors Trump, which is why it's facing the opposite direction of the Strength card. The Strength card is facing towards the right, while the 3 of Wands here are facing to the left. And the left card means, oh yeah, it favored Trump originally. But in the end, the election night card is going to favor Harris. But it's not going to be an election night. Because election night already happened, because it has to take in a pre-contact. It has to take after election night, which is why they're going in two opposite directions. The Strength card is aided by the Queen of Cups, which is the woman in power, woman in position of power, because there is no seat here for Trump. There is no seat. The only seat is the devil, and the devil's not really sitting on a seat here. He's perched. He's on a perch, right? He's on like this little like metal rod, and he's perched, but he's not actually sitting down on a throne. He's not actually sitting, but Vice President Harris is sitting down on her throne, which is the Queen of Cups. Now, we talked about this before in a lot of my readings that normally when I see a person in position of power, specifically a chair, when it's upright, it means the person in position of power, they either gain a promotion or they are going to stay in power. When it's reversed, it means that they are removed or they lost or they were defeated, whatever that may mean. But for Vice President Harris, she is the only one so far that received a card that indicated that she is in a position of power and that she will maintain power despite the fact that the devil was doing the work to prevent her from having that position. In the end, no. The strength card of her overpowers the weakness of the devil. Because the reason why this is very important here, because we have the strength and the Queen of Cups next to each other, was aiding and give more strength to the Queen. While the devil is only being reversed by the election, which means there is a reversal of the results coming soon, revolving around the election, because the election and the strength card, the Queen of Cups, and the devil card are all moving in the same direction. Now, what does that mean? Election day favors the devil, but the strength is a lot stronger in the Queen of Cups. Now, for the Chariot card, which is the presidency card, right, or the United States, could be very much both, but it's heading towards the presidency, the transition period. We have here is aided by foreign influence, which means there is foreign influence. Again, everything in the video is for life purposes only and for entertainment purposes only as well. So there is interference in cell capacity, which has to do with foreign adversaries, but it also means that there will be foreign interference because of NATO and the information that has been received. So there technically will be foreign interference, and if you look at it from a theatrical standpoint. Now, if you go after, let's see what this card says. The next card is, well, let's see, can I bit on my nails? We have the Five of Swords going in the same direction towards the transition period, the presidency, heading towards the presidency. So there's some sort of influence with a fight or a battle that has taken place, which means it's the election card, which is why it is above election night and above the strength of the Harris campaign. So there is a battle here. The final outcome card, at least for the specific row, is the Tower card. Right, let me show that, because it shows up as white, but it's actually the Tower card. So let me see if I can actually get that up. Okay, so here is the Tower card. So why is this very important? Well, it's very important because when you look at all the information here, we have the presidency, we have the interference here, we have the battle coming. But then the only card on the top deck here, the top row, is the Tower card moving in the right direction and moving towards the right, while the Five of Swords, the Two of Wands, and the Chariot card are moving towards the left. Right? Moving towards the past. So in essence, the presidency is moving towards the past. So is the Two of Wands, which is the interference and the battle, which means that there's a battle that is ending. We do have here for Vice President Harris, though, is her ability to be vice president. We have here the ballot or the election, possibly voter suppression. But we also have here as well, for former President Trump, we have the King of Pentacles heading towards the past, while we have the election heading towards the past. But what's heading towards the future? Well, for former President Trump, we have the election and the devil and the manipulation for President Trump. That is what's heading towards the future. What's heading for Vice President Harris? Well, we have the Strength and the Queen of Cups, which is indicating a position of power increase from where she was originally, which is the Queen of Pentacles, which is a lower position, to a higher position of power. Then what is heading towards the presidency, the transitional period? Well, a Tower moment. That is what's heading towards the future, a change, right? A knocking off of the original winner. So that is what is happening. So it feels like to me, with the information that Biden's going to receive, is that there will be a Tower moment that is coming. Because we have here, again, we have the Ace of Cups here. And then what is the card that did not want to go away? Well, that is the Four of Cups. That was way off. That is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles means holding on to power. There is an inability to hold on to power. It further clarifies everything that's being said here. It means that the winner will have to let go of what they won originally. So it feels like to me, you ever like seen like a kid who goes into Chuck E. Cheese, and this is what I'm getting here. The kid that goes into Chuck E. Cheese, and he wins the World Prize in the store with his ticket. But then he manipulated the ticket because he didn't allow the machine to count it truthfully. He took the ticket down and he kept going in and out in the machine, making the tickets think that he's adding more tickets in when it's really just maybe 1 or 3 tickets. And he's manipulating the machine to make the machine think there was more than actually was originally there. Right? In order to get a prize that he really wanted, he committed thievery. In some way. He manipulated the machine because the machine is very exposed to the manipulation that is being presented. We do have the Empress card here, which is challenging the presidency card. We have the Heartbreak card, which is challenging the foreign interference card. We have the Page of Wands, which is challenging the Five of Wands. And we have here the Thievery, which is challenging the Tower card. Okay? So what does this mean? It means that the woman who was down in the presidency experiences a heartbreak. Right? Experiences a heartbreak, right? We have here the Page of Wands. There's a new leadership heading our way. And it has to do with the Tower card. The challenge to the Tower is the Thievery. Whether or not they're going to get away with it. That is the result. And there's the Temperance here. Biden needs to find a balance. He needs to find a balance. So what is Biden going to do with information? He's going to reveal it. Oh, look. I went to go put this away, and look what card decided to show and make an appearance. The Nine of Pentacles. Do you remember how I kept telling you guys in every reading so far in the previous reading? I kept saying how the Nine of Pentacles keeps showing up many times in my readings. Regarding it, this woman is a Nine of Pentacles here. There is something here, and it has to do with fortune. So, what will Biden do with information? Well, it looks like he's going to do something. And I'm actually very excited to see what the outcome is. Now, again, this is just for entertainment purposes only and for life purposes only. It says here that Biden can make a choice. He can make a decision. Vice President Harris had a very mild choice. She doesn't really have much of a free will as she thinks she does. It's already predetermined because she's locked in for the presidency at some point in time. We don't know when that is. It could be a couple years from now. It could be a couple months. It could be a couple weeks. We don't know exactly when she is meant to be president because the cards are they can't tell time directly. But President Biden, though, does have the ability to make a free choice of will, and that will determine Vice President Harris. Because, like I said earlier in her reading, her path is determined by people around her who will determine her path forward towards the presidency. But regardless, she will end up at the presidency at some point in time. We don't know when that is, but we do know it's going to happen eventually. So that is what I get in the cards, though. So I do hope you guys don't get to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. And let me know what you think of today's video. I think it's really interesting. I think it was very informative. I want you to know I love you and I support you. And I want to say thank you for supporting us and our family and what we do here on this channel. It means a lot to me. It means so much to me. I see all your comments. I try to respond as much fast as possible to you. I do like and engage with that. As long as you keep engaging and liking, we can be able to grow the channel bigger and stronger. I want you to know that for those of my original, I want you to know that I love you and I will always remember you and I will always cherish our very moments. And I look forward to seeing your comments specifically. And you know exactly who you are. But until then, guys, I love you and have a great night. And I will see you all in the next video. Until then, peace out.